Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Value Script. We're grateful you're here today. The Value Script is the podcast where we bring value every day for the everyday person. Today, our producer wanted to get our reaction on the top 5 Bible verses of 2022. We have no idea what's coming at us or if I even know them.
Yeah, I mean, this website comes out with different verses every year. So I'm wondering if they gather kind of like, what people are reading, what's going on in the world, what resonates for each year. But anyway, this is for this year. So coming in at number 5, Matthew 6:33, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well.
Well, that comes from the Sermon on the Mount. And I think what that sounds out to me is, for those of you of faith, those not of you of faith, Jesus is talking about, hey, look, the fowls of the air, they don't get up in the morning and think about, what am I going to eat? The animals in the field, they don't necessarily get up in the morning and think about what they're going to eat. And so just like with us, he says, if we seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, just like the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field and all the other animals and everything else in the dominion of God, he's going to bless us with those things that we need. If we stay in faith and we stay positive, we move forward. We don't have to have anxiety.
Wow.
We don't have to worry.
Yeah.
We stay in faith. We know the blessing's coming. And we can actually move into gratitude rather than worry. We can move into gratitude and wake up in the morning and be like, I'm so grateful for the blessings that are going to come to me today. And there's nothing wrong with claiming that. There's nothing wrong with praying and saying, Heavenly Father, Lord, however you pray, I am so grateful that you're going to fill my day with love and happiness and mirth and blessing and to wake up that way and feel that way and then go attack your day. How powerful is that versus like, like most mornings, I don't want to do today. I know it's coming down the pipe. But if you keep this in mind, you think of, God provides for his dominion. And if you're faithful and you're part of that dominion, he's going to provide for you too. You're not going to be any different.
Yeah. This is awesome. That was only number 5. So going into number 4.
Going into number 4. You got this one, babe.
Jeremiah 29:11.
Oh, I love this one.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and future.
Actually, I had no idea that's what I was going to say that. I just was like, I love this one, making it sound like I knew, more than I do.
That was good.
Was that a good flex? Yeah.
That was a good
All right.
I was like, dang, maybe you should take this.
Sorry, maybe I was just being an attention hoarder. I apologize.
Is this your love language?
Attention? Probably. Wait, back to the Bible verses.
Okay. Number
4. Well, I think that just comes down to having faith that the Lord knows you. He knows the intents of your heart. He knows what you need. Because sometimes we lose our sights in thinking we know what we need out of life, thinking like, well, gosh, I really want this job. And I think that's what's best for me. And then when that doesn't happen, like, okay, God, like, why isn't this working out for me? But I do believe that God does have a plan for us. And it doesn't mean that he controls every aspect of our life, but he does know what we need to grow and what we need out of life to be able to progress. And I think that's the whole purpose of us being here. So when things go wrong, sometimes we can get in our head about it and get anxiety and stress and all of that. But just having that foundational faith, really, that God does have a plan for us and he is aware of us and knows what we need. Even when we go through hard things, we can trust that it's going to be okay.
I think too, like, I like this. It's, I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord. That really speaks to me. Like, we're here on earth. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to do our best, right? That actually tells us that God's thinking about us too. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I know the thoughts I have towards you. To me, that's powerful. My God thinks about me. Mm-hmm. Right? And if my God thinks about me and my God's on my side, what can I do?
I was literally going to say, what can't you do?
And I think that's where you're headed with Philippians. Actually, if it's the verse, it might be.
This is number
maybe
3.
not. But really though, like going back to waking up in gratitude and confidence rather than waking up into anxiety and lack, right? Like it's a simple mindset shift, but know that God is there and he thinks of you. He loves you. He wants you to have a great day. He wants to send blessings your way. That doesn't mean you're not going to have trials. Actually, he loves you enough to let you go through trials because adversity brings strength as we go through it, right? It's like the whole lifting weights. If you don't go lift light weights, I go lift the heaviest weights possible. And that's so I can grow the strongest in the shortest amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So number 3 is Philippians 4:6 came in at number 3. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God.
I think it's kind of like what I was talking about as, as we believe that God has great things in store for us and that he desires to prosper us and he desires us to grow and be stronger. We don't have to have anxiety about our day. We may know that it's going to be something unpleasant that we need to do, but if we stay in faith, and like you said, you can pray in thanksgiving, or in other words, gratitude. We can wake up with a gratitude knowing we're going to get through today and God's going to prosper us. And it might kind of suck, but that's going to help us grow and be stronger. So tomorrow gets to be even better.
It's manifesting, right?
Yeah.
It's manifesting that you're grateful for whatever that you want to have happen that day. I don't know. I think that manifestation and faith really are the same thing.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think especially like you talk about, like we grow up thinking, okay, faith is believing in something that's true that you can't see. What does that mean?
Well, that's true too.
Right. Well, that's kind of like, in Hebrews 11, that's pretty much how it defines faith. Right. But it's like, okay, that's kind of a little amorphous, right? For me though, true, like when you're talking about manifesting, as we learn to manifest and project, you're actually, you do that correctly, you think of what you would be your ideal, what your ideal future would be, what your ideal ending of today would be, and you think of it with gratitude as if it's already happened. Like when you pray, you can pray in the morning, I am grateful that this outcome is coming to me. And that is faith, because you are praying knowing it's going to happen, but you can't see that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's powerful. You can manifest in gratitude. Like I am feeling the gratitude and the grateful feelings you have for what you know is coming your way. Even you can't physically see it, but you believe it so strongly, you actually know that it's going to happen. That's really what faith is.
Yeah.
I think most people think hope, this is what their definition of faith is really what hope is.
Yeah.
We hope this is going to happen. We believe this is going to happen. Well, believing it's going to happen isn't faith. Faith is knowing it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like you were saying with manifesting.
I was reading number 2, and number 2 was so far my favorite. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things.
I believe that's called the admonition of Paul. So that passage of scripture is known as the admonition of Paul.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I love that one too, because so many things in the world are not lovely and wonderful. And like we can get bogged down by all the negativity. And especially if you're plugged into media, right? Yeah. Media, like, man, it just makes you feel like the world's falling apart, which in a lot of aspects it is. Yeah. But if you choose to seek after those things that are positive and good and that come from God and that strengthen your soul, that's where you're going to find peace, and that's where you're going to find happiness and that foundation to be able to have a great life.
Last one. Here it is. The number 1 voted Bible verse for 2022, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will.
I think what resonated in me there was, in order for me to feel the goodness of God again in my life, I had to get my mental health straight.
Yeah.
I did. And like, it was because of the things of this world that had broken my mind. I had to heal that and get through that. And then there was a time when I don't feel like I could feel the goodness of God. Mm-hmm. And it was dark. It was bad. And we all felt it. It was not good. And in order to get back to that place, I had to have my mind healed. And that was a combination of, the grace of God, the atonement of Jesus Christ, and counseling.
Mm-hmm. Now with these 5, was that your number one? Was that your favorite one, or which one stood out to you the most?
I kind of think number 5 did. It was what was number 4?
Jeremiah 29:11.
I think that one was it.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it just helps you realize, like, God's there, man. He loves you. He's looking out for you. He wants great things to happen to you,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to remember that, but sometimes you need to remember that.
Right. Yeah. Right. Especially when you're in that growth phase, right? And you're going through something hard so that you can progress.
Yeah, when you're in that growth phase, sometimes you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You just see the tunnel. But you know that light's there, so you got to keep pressing towards it. Mm-hmm. All right, we hope you guys liked this episode. If you'd like to see more of this, let us know in the comments. Did you like this style? Did you like this departure from our norm? Would you like to see more of it? We'd like to know. Please write down below. And don't forget to clickety-click, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on The Value Script.